Hey there, guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 7 Battle Royale, Part 1 and 2, and Excalibur vs. Raiden. So, let's get into it.
This episode of Death Battle is made possible by the Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video.
Bonus episodes are actual episodes.
Hello, and thank you for joining us in this special program, brought to you in part by Vought Industries, the same Vought family where the 7 call home.
And we're joined by one of those famous superheroes, Black Noir. Okay, you know these guys have an Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video.
These heroes are formidable, but today we will learn just how powerful they truly are.
In a simulated battle royale, he's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. A-Train, Queen Maeve, The Deep, Translucent, Starlight, Black Noir, Homelander, Earth's Most Mighty, Champions of the Innocent. They are the 7.
It's their job to end crime in America and watch over the world.
Led by this country's righteous savior, Homelander. Now, we already know he's far more powerful than the others, so his participation in today's simulated battle will be a bit different.
He can survive every known weapon on the planet, and most nukes these days reach 1.5 megatons of TNT. He can
but
fly
he
faster
can't
than an
survive
F-16 fighting
Man.
Falcon and throw a baseball
saw
into
with
orbit.
his death
But he
battle.
doesn't really need to do much when his laser vision can slice up a whole room of villains in seconds.
Some might say that's lazy, but I call it efficient. Also, he always makes time for selfies with the fans. That's a real American hero.
Who's the real hero?
But our friends at Vought control over 200 other superheroes, so you can bet your dick the rest of the 7 are the cream of the crop.
And you obviously can't put a team like this together without some massive corporate conglomerate making all the decisions.
I know, right? I'm kind of jealous. They're raking it in with movies, and have you seen the action figures? There's more than one way they're making a killing, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure the real reward is all those people you save. Right, Black Noir?
There's no better example of heroics than Queen Maeve, a longtime veteran of the team.
She's super strong and an expert fighter. She can power through a ton of pain, like when all the bones in her arms shattered while saving a school bus full of kids. She's bulletproof, armored van-proof, and ego-proof.
With the biggest heart on the team, she'll never leave an innocent person behind.
Of course, Black Noir here is the true martial arts expert of the team.
Don't pass by his upcoming film, Insurrection.
And don't pass by A-Train, because you can't. You literally can't pass him, he's way faster than you.
With a top recorded speed of 371 meters per second, well over the speed of sound, A-Train is fast enough to instantly kill a person just by running into them. Theoretically, of course.
Too bad he's had a hard time with drug abuse. That compound V stuff might boost his speed, but I don't know if a heart attack is worth it. Jesus! You gonna clean that up?
And then there's the Deep. He can talk to fish, breathe underwater, and that's it. He may have sexually assaulted the new hire when she arrived, but like a true hero, he apologized publicly instead of to her, absolutely meant what he said, naturally changed his ways overnight, and was shipped off to Ohio, and hasn't been seen since.
Man, he sucks!
Yeah, he does.
Last but not least, it's Starlight, the youngest member of the team, and maybe the girl you know next door. She's so relatable.
Starlight is quite literally a new light amongst the hardened, experienced veterans of the 7. By absorbing electricity from nearby sources, she can emit beams of light-emitting plasma. Look too closely, and you might be blinded by her brilliance.
She's skilled in Taekwondo, and like most of the soups, except the douche over there, she's super tough, like when she took 2 straight shots to the chest from a Serbu BFG-50 rifle, and got right back up. And you can pick yourself up too with Wish Skincare by Starlight. Wait, what did I just read?
Unfortunately, this rookie's early days with the Seven weren't the kindest, as she found herself among a bad crowd. The same people who murdered her shining teammate, Translucent.
Billy Butcher, Mother's Milk, Kimiko, Hugh Campbell, and this guy who's not yet been identified, but we're pretty sure he's French.
Imagine men on the run, wanted across the world, their faces memorized by every officer in every precinct. But most importantly, hunted by the Seven themselves. These criminals aren't men, they're boys. And girl. And a girl. They're inclusive.
They aren't special, they're nobodies, like Huey. He's a normal, everyday salesman at some dinky electronics store who just took a collateral incident a bit too personally. So what if a soup splattered your girlfriend all across the pavement? But lawyers let us know he's not legally responsible.
Now, just to prove there's no bias on our part, Mother's Milk is a family man, Frenchie is a victim of abuse looking after others, and Kimiko is a refugee hiding from terrorists.
And yet, these slums decided to assault our country's finest. I mean, the superheroes. All thanks to their leader, the diabolical Billy Butcher. He's a violent lunatic, and he's not even a real American.
What's with the accent? What's with yours?
That must be why he hates Homelander so much. I mean, it's not like Homelander is the bad guy. He's a perfect Boy Scout who grew up playing catch with his father like a normal, totally sane person. He couldn't actually be the villain here, unless everyone is lying. That's ridiculous. Please don't kill me.
The boys have made it their mission to figure out the best way to kill every soup in town. Got a Starlight problem? EMP nearby electronics? Is A-Train coming at you? Stick him with some epinephrine. Got an invisible man stalking you who also has indestructible skin? Damn, some C4 up his butt.
S-bomb.
Translucent's powers were fascinating. While unclothed, his outer skin could turn invisible and unbreakable.
Until the S-bomb. But now that they have an open seat, I hear Vought's got eyes on a new addition to the Seven.
Makes sense. They can't exactly go around calling themselves the Six, right? That's actually a musical. I don't think they can trademark that.
And now that the Seven are joining our heroes in camo, I'm sure they'll take care of Butcher and the boys sooner than later.
To see how they handle such a rogue firsthand, we will be including Billy Butcher in today's Battle Royale. For however long he survives.
So let's get to the fight simulation already.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities and corporate guidelines.
It's time for a death battle! And here they are, entering the arena, the Seven and other.
These apartment blocks were sanctioned for the event. Of course, the residents have been removed from their homes and fairly compensated.
And there's Homelander floating above like a guardian angel.
Apt description. Homelander will act as referee just in case anyone goes too far. Even with this being a simulation, we wouldn't want anything severe to happen.
Fight!
All right, super cunts. Who's first?
Isn't it obvious, asshole? You! There's no way us, the Seven, the heroes, are gonna let you walk away.
I think I swallowed a gill. Please, not even a threat. I've got this.
Oh, screw this rubbish.
Except when they return the fight. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Fancy another?
What?
Oh, I thought this place was evacuated.
Oh no, we should probably call this off. Oh, well, you know what they say, the show must go on.
Big mistake.
Shit! Shit! Can't see! You're dead! Stop it!
Disgusting.
I'll show you disgusting.
Fuck you.
Come on, come on! Fucking diabolical.
Wow, what an upset! In a surprising turn of events, the winner is...
All right, keep calm, everyone. Everything's fine. After all, I am the only hero America needs.
What? Can he do that? Black Noir. Wait, where'd Noir go? What's going on? And where's that cheering coming from?
Well, thinking about it, even in a simulation, Queen Maeve or Butcher winning does make sense. You can learn more about it in our analysis video. But I guess it doesn't really matter when you have a pompous, narcissistic asshole like Homelander. The winner is Homelander. He's great. Just great.
I have more limbs than you now. Don't worry, buddy. I'll lend you a hand.
If you want to shine like the sun.
Hey! Nice flex. How about a second round?
I love a good sequel. Wondering how and why each character won or lost? We have another video that dives into the scientific analysis.
And check out the Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video.
Do not forget to watch the Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video.
Carne asada is back, expertly crafted just for you. Nobody does carne asada like Chipotle.
TCG Player has everything gamers need. Yes, even that card.
This episode of Death Battle is made possible by the Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video.
You ever wondered who would win in a battle royale between your favorite superhero team? What about the 7 from the Amazon original series, The Boys, only on Prime Video?
It's a surprisingly close fight. Most of the 7 are fairly on par with one another. Well, except for the psychotic Ubermensch Homelander, who can fly faster than F-16s, toss baseballs into orbit, and was stated to survive every weapon in the world, quite possibly including nuclear bombs.
Yeah, old Red, White, and Blue Balls had no business fighting his teammates.
But aside from him, even with their differing powers and skills, none of them had an obvious edge.
And that made this fight a tough beer to crack. Well, except for the aquatic asshole, the Deep. I'd say his abilities to talk to fish and breathe under the sea were useless out of the water, but they were just as useless in the water too.
And unlike his teammates, the Deep never really displayed any notable feats of strength or skill. In fact, he was kind of a dork.
Yeah.
To be fair, he said he could survive 2 miles under the ocean. That's some insane water pressure.
The pressure at sea level is about 14.6 pounds per square inch, or 1 atmosphere. That's literally the pressure of air around you right now, unless you're on a mountain or something. This pressure increases by 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters you descend. So after 10 meters, it doubles, and after another, it triples, and so on.
And despite my lifelong crusade against the evils of math and the vampire god it's named after, even I can tell the Deep's body had to withstand about 4,700 pounds per square inch.
That's correct, Boomstick. Less than the pressure from your average bullet.
But you know who definitely was bulletproof? The all-American new girl on the block, Starlight. She tanked a couple rounds from a Cerebu BFG-50A sniper rifle to the chest like nobody's business.
Starlight's impressive durability, training, and flexible energy attacks made her well-rounded. But even with the strength to lift the back end of a car, she lacked the power to compete with the rest of the cast.
Yeah, aside from blinding people, her energy blasts aren't all that crazy. They're definitely lethal to regular humans, but not necessarily other soups.
Despite the way they look, they are more than likely plasma beams that emit light rather than being pure light themselves. Otherwise, they'd normally be invisible.
And they were snails compared to the superstar speedster and pro-girlfriend murderer A-Train, who once went all out and ran a race at 371 meters a second. That's just over the speed of sound.
So even if those beams were light speed, dodging them would be an enormous outlier.
Since A-Train beat Starlight pretty easy in their mano-y-womano fight, it's a safe bet the same would happen here. Or worse, like the time he turned Robin into a literal smear on the road. Again with the girlfriend murdering.
The energy to violently fragment a human body like Robin's is about 7.5 joules per cubic centimeter. Based on Robin's actress's height of 5'6", she would have an estimated 58,000 cubic centimeter volume.
That'd make A-Train's instant girlfriend murder attack worth 440,000 joules. No wonder he can pull 4 train cars behind him. Though, to be fair, that kind of attack required him to get up to top speeds and use his whole body, which isn't how he usually fights.
His effectiveness depends on the location, and he's surprisingly not very versatile. Despite his speed, he's left himself wide open for sneak attacks in the past.
So he wouldn't last long against somebody who's more skilled and could no-sell his supersonic body slam.
That's where the warrior woman Queen Maeve comes in. Based on her experience and martial artistry, she's clearly the most skilled combatant in the arena and by far the most durable.
Remember the time she stopped an armored truck with her body? Those kinds of vehicles can weigh over 11,000 kilograms and move at 75 miles per hour.
That's a kinetic energy of 6.4 million joules, over 10 times greater than A-Train's strongest attack.
And she didn't just survive it, she didn't even feel it. She cut through it like a hot knife through butter just by standing there. At her best, A-Train wouldn't be able to move her, let alone hurt her.
So out of the Deep, Starlight, and A-Train, Queen Maeve was clearly the winner.
But that's where the Cockney Super Slayer himself, Billy motherfucking Butcher, came in.
Obviously, Butcher would never win normally, but he was helped by his soup research, tenacity, and a laser baby, which is totally cheating, but this is Butcher, so of course he would.
A big factor that helped him not get immediately stomped by the tougher soups like A-Train or Maeve was that, kinda ironically, he was just an ordinary human.
That's right, he had to be prioritized last, lest they leave themselves open to someone more obviously threatening.
This would allow Butcher time to put his soup-killing smarts to the test and strategize, like in his fight with Translucent in Season 1.
And while most of his arsenal wouldn't be too threatening, he has access to weapons through his contacts designed to take on some of the 7.
But let's be real, the big one here was the laser baby. That was an insta-win against everybody, even Maeve.
The baby's I-beams are plasma, which is absurdly hot ionized gas. Plasma has an energy density of 10 billion joules per cubic meter. By measuring the volume of the baby's beams, they'd have to be emitting over 14 billion joules per attack.
That's over 2,000 times more powerful than that truck Maeve stopped. That queen got slayed.
Really, the only concern Butcher had was A-Train blitzing him and stealing the baby before he could even use it.
But since A-Train didn't know jack about it, there's no way he'd have gone for it before getting diced, especially since Butcher played it smart and kept his trump card hidden as long as possible.
Of the 7, minus Homelander, Maeve proved herself to be the strongest, toughest, and the most skilled, making her victory in a battle royale all but assured.
Until Butcher showed up with a laser baby. Then he butchered the competition.
I feel like that one was too easy.
Star lighten up, Wiz. Maybe it was, but I've A-trained in the art of the pun. I figured a joke any more deep might not have homelanded.
The winner is Billy Butcher. Was, until Homelander brutally murdered him.
And with that, our contract with VOD is over. Kiss my ass, you corporate yuppie freaks.
I can't believe they were going to out us for or all those poor.
Yeah, that last one was definitely a war crime. Wait, are we still recording?
Oh, turn it off, turn it off. Thank you for watching. This battle was ridiculously fun to put together. And that's in large part thanks to Amazon Prime Video not only sponsoring it, but trusting us to do what we do best and then some. Plus, I've been recommending The Boys to people since way before now, so this works out great. Check out The Boys Season 2, out now on Prime Video.
Now moving on to Excalibur vs. Raiden.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Warframe.
Don't miss Warframe's highly anticipated digital event, TennoCon, on July 16th, where players and attendees will be treated to a slew of first-look reveals, including the upcoming open-world expansion, the Duviri Paradox.
You can join through Twitch throughout TennoCon for highly valuable drops, including the rare Titania Prime.
Wiz, what are you doing in here? It's our day off.
Oh, just conducting some research. I've discovered a Tenno foundry in the process of crafting a new Warframe. Just about wrapped. What are you doing here?
Sometimes I have these horrible nightmares and I just wake up here in a cold sweat. I don't even think my car's in the parking lot. But what you're doing sounds way more interesting. So tell me, what Warframe's your favorite?
Oh, a scientist doesn't play favorites.
Oh, bullshit. Our job is the equivalent of banging action figures together. You've got to have a favorite.
Fine, if I had to pick, I'd go with the very first Warframe ever created, the death-dealing techno-organic ninja Excalibur.
You mean he's a cyborg ninja? Like Raiden from Metal Gear?
What? No, they're not technically cyborgs. More like superpowered biomechanical vessels that are unlike anything I've ever seen. Trust me, this is gonna get crazy, so spoilers ahead.
Yeah, just give me the lore already, Wiz.
Long ago in the Origin system, the Orokin Empire discovered the Void, an extra-dimensional spatial realm that allowed for travel across vast cosmic distances. However, when they sent the first colony ship through it, the Zeraman 10-0, the Void drove all the adults on board into an insane, murderous frenzy.
Sounds like my first wedding reception.
Okay. The children, though, absorbed the Void's energies, imbuing them with the powers they needed to defend themselves against their mad parents and survive. When the Zeraman 10-0 emerged from the Void, the children were permanently changed. They had become the Tenno.
Well, I'm sure those traumatized little whippersnappers received only the best of care.
If only. Instead, the Tenno were taught to use their Void powers to control Warframes through a process called transference. But their abilities were so powerful that the Orokin grew to fear the Tenno and tried to have them destroyed. The Tenno were hidden from the Orokin and put into a deep sleep. That is, until one day, they were reawakened to defend a war-torn Origin system guided by their adoptive mother, the Lotus.
So they're basically sci-fi child soldiers.
Sort of. Though the Lotus does care deeply for her adopted children and has devoted her efforts to protecting as many Tenno as possible. There are almost 50 different Warframes currently out there, each with their own unique abilities and combat styles. But I think that the very first created Excalibur is the deadliest.
He's kinda reminded me of someone.
A master swordsman with his razor-sharp skana, Excalibur is an expert at racking up quick kills faster than the eye can track. He's unmatched in skill and precision with the blade, especially when augmented by his unique abilities, like Radial Blind, which releases a flash of light to incapacitate nearby foes, or Radial Javelin, which blasts out a wide burst of energy spears. But his greatest and most iconic is easily the Exalted Blade, a sword of light that can slice just about anything to pieces. You don't get much cooler than that.
Huge-ass laser guns, Wiz. Huge-ass laser guns automatically make you cooler.
Funny you should say that. While individual Warframes like Excalibur may specialize in certain fields, they all have access to an incredible suite of futuristic weaponry, like the Nucor, which can fire concentrated beams of microwaves, literally cooking you from the inside out, or the Glaxian, which halts molecular vibrations entirely, freezing you in place. There are guns that fire radioactive plasma, toxic barbs, even acidic needles. He has, I'm not exaggerating here, over 500 different named weapons.
Man, he sounds like a one-man army.
Oh, you think that's crazy? Excalibur can call down an Archwing, basically a futuristic space jetpack with missiles, force fields, and even the ability to fire miniature black holes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty powerful.
While Warframes usually battle alongside one another, they have had the occasional head-to-head scrap, where they've exhibited the durability to survive even the most powerful attacks that other Warframes have to dish out. For example, blasts of concentrated antimatter from the Warframe Nova.
Sounds pretty unstoppable, but I think I have someone in mind that might put that to the test.
Okay, do you really want to talk about Raiden? Is that what this is?
Come on, Wiz. Child soldier, half-robot assassin, glorious Nippon steel. It's a perfect match. Raised from childhood to be a trained killer in the war-torn streets of Liberia by the future president of the United States, Jack never knew what it meant to control his own destiny, to live his own life. The only thing he knew was how to kill, and he proved it when he accomplished one of the greatest feats in video game history, surviving the absolute mindfuck that was Metal Gear Solid 2. Legions of angry fanboys be damned. Solid Snake was yesterday's news. This was Raiden. Birthday suit and all.
Too bad for him that a shadowy extra-governmental body known as the Patriots captured him and turned him into a cyborg for their own complicated purposes. Even after the Patriots' downfall, Raiden struggled to build a life that he could call his own, pulled between his sense of justice and his genuine ecstasy for war.
Well,
there's magic in the arrows. This is the biggest challenge we've ever done. Tonight, we complete that challenge. For one last time.
Well, at least he's got to put his weeb skills to work with the weapons he's pulled off the corpses of all the poor souls that dared mess with him. He's got dystopia, a magnetic sigh that pulls you towards your enemy, or l'étranger.
Wow, I think you actually said that right.
Which is a convertible staff/whip combination made of arms, plus rocket launchers, claymore mines, EMP grenades, and all his stuff from MGS2. But nothing beats his high-frequency blade he inherited from Jetstream Sam, the Murasama.
I have to admit, the high-frequency blades are marvels. They vibrate at such high speeds that they can destabilize the physical structures of metals on contact, greatly increasing their cutting ability. It's basically robot kryptonite, if that makes sense.
Even with his original high-frequency blade, Raiden can cut through massive Metal Gears like tissue paper.
And of note, those Metal Gears were not made of ordinary steel, but carbon nanotubes, one of the strongest materials known to man. The bonds between carbon atoms are incredibly strong, which means that the tensile strength of carbon nanotubes is greater than even the toughest metals, like titanium. Using the high end of potential shear strengths, slicing clean through a building-sized Metal Gear ray would require an energy equivalent to, at most, 100 kilotons of TNT.
And the Murasama is red, which makes it even cuttier. How else would he have had a chance against our Lord and Savior, Senator Armstrong, and his nanomachine, son? Unlike those Beltway pansies, this hulked out Ayn Rand can hit the ground so hard it splits lava. He was somehow a vastly more difficult boss than the stadium-sized Metal Gear Excelsis riding toward to shreds minutes earlier. Don't F with this, Senator.
That is, unless your nickname is Jack the Ripper.
Raiden spent years fighting for justice and denying who he really was inside. And it took his battles with Desperado enforcement to finally realize it. He's a killer, plain and simple, and he lives to test his skills against others.
When he enters Ripper mode, any last shred of inhibition leaves his body, and his strength and skill skyrockets.
And that's exactly what Armstrong saw in Raiden. Living proof of his philosophy in action. Someone who pulled themselves out of hell with nothing but their determination to survive.
But Raiden did not see it that way. Just because he had to fight for survival doesn't mean the whole world had to. And it was only through an act of generosity from Raiden's slain rival, Sam, that he managed to win.
His sword may have been a tool of justice, not used in anger, but the Murasama wasn't that sword. And with it, he ended Armstrong once and for all, and lived the rest of his life on his own terms. Look, I know we're just shooting the shit, but Raiden would definitely kick Excalibur's ass.
You've got to be joking. Maybe I didn't sell it well enough with my spiel, but Warframes like Excalibur are unbelievably powerful, on a whole other level from cyborg ninjas like Raiden.
Oh yeah? We're in the lab, we've got the research done, Prove it.
Okay, the Murasama is impressive, sure, but Excalibur's futuristic arsenal is hundreds of years more advanced and leagues more varied. Raiden would just be overwhelmed.
Excalibur may win in quantity, Wiz, but quality is what matters most. And considering his weapons are mostly made of metal, it won't be any trouble for Raiden to melt right through him with the Murasama, especially with how crazy fast he is. Raiden can run up walls and break dance with leggy, mooing robots attached to his feet. He can slice bullets out of the air and even boost his reactions with blade mode, where the entire world slows down to a near stop.
Well, sure, Metal Gear characters like Revolver Ocelot can shoot bolts of electricity out of the air with regular pistols, which is probably around hundreds of times faster than sound. I guess that counts as fast.
Oh, please, that's nothing! Raiden can increase his perception to the point that raindrops around him aren't even moving. That might not seem as crazy at first glance, but he's also able to swing his sword dozens of times, while time is almost stopped. By my calculations, that'd be about 11% the speed of light.
Oh, is this happening? Is this actually happening? You want a calc off, big guy? Then let's go. Excalibur can literally block a beam of light with his sword. Judging by the distance it moved relative to how far the light beam traveled, Excalibur had to have been swinging at 9% the speed of light.
Calc King dethroned. Look at me. I'm the math boy now.
Look, speed is only part of the picture. Another Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid. Now, Excalibur may not be one-punching asteroids, but he's proven more than capable of wiping out entire platoons of elite soldiers.
But remember, Wiz, you said it yourself. Robot Kryptonite. All old Jack needs is one good swing of that Murasama, and Excalibur's getting sliced to pieces. You really think your Warframe can take on a pure-blooded killer like Raiden?
Oh, you really think your cyborg ninja can take on a ghost soldier from the future?
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Forever a mystery.
No way to determine a winner.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, I could definitely go for a beer right now.
No, you idiot. Let's settle this the old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah! It's time for a death battle! This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Warframe, but let me ask you guys, what is Warframe exactly?
Warframe is a free-to-play online action game set in an ever-changing sci-fi universe with a passionate community of more than 70 million registered players worldwide.
That sounds awesome! What's it about?
You play as the Tenno, an enigmatic race of ancient warriors capable of tremendous agility, speed, and superpowered abilities. Wield an arsenal of more than 600 weapons, including blades, guns, and more.
That sure sounds like a Tenno fun, eh, Wiz?
Please stop. You follow an epic cinematic quest that combines a personal story of self-discovery with an action-packed space opera. Embark on missions that involve ninja-like acrobatic shooting and melee, personal spaceflight, open-world exploration, collaborative spaceship combat, and more.
If that sounds exciting to you, Warframe is available on all platforms. Play Warframe for free today on all platforms by using our sign-up link below.
Digital Extremes is giving Death Battle viewers their very own free collection of Excalibur-themed items. Until July 19th, go to warframe.com or visit the in-game marketplace and use promo code WFDeathBattle to redeem it.
The Death Battle Excalibur item collection includes a special Excalibur helmet, deadly powerful weapons, and more. Everything you need to personalize your in-game Excalibur and unleash his lethal ninja prowess on the battlefield.
Doctor, are you seeing this?
Tenno, an enemy is ahead, and that foundry is crafting a warframe.
Straight to the point. Metal freaks like you usually got a monologue first.
I don't think he can talk. Although, I mean, he doesn't have a voice actor in this fight.
Sword. It's weakening yours.
infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in. Mr. Raiden, sir. Or can I call you Jack? Big fan.
Who the hell? I'm busy here.
Wait, just listen. You'll never expect your secret weapon.
All right, listen, he's definitely hiding in the cardboard box.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
Doctor, it's time to let her rip. This is why I fight. Survival of the fittest. The rules of nature.
My child, you're not done yet. I'm searching your Warframe's power systems.
Time for the turning blow moment of this fight.
Excellent work, Tenno. Now for the foundry. Oh, it's finished.
KO! Chalk one up for the Calc King. The Math Boy is back.
Oh, infinite ammo, Wiz. He had infinite ammo.
Sure, and yes, it is 100% indisputably canon, but there was a lot more going on here that eventually gave Excalibur the win.
I guess so. Both were super skilled swordsmen and ninja, and their speeds were almost even. So the fight was ultimately gonna come down to whose tech was better. And I've gotta say, it looks like Excalibur just had a lot more to pull from.
Warframes have access to an absolutely absurd amount of varied weapons. Despite Raiden's unique armaments, they were never going to stack up in sheer quantity. And consider specific guns like Glaxian, which can halt molecular movement, a direct counter to Raiden's high-frequency blade. While Excalibur may not always be carrying it, every Warframe is proficient with each of their over 500 weapons.
One blast of that, and Raiden might as well be working with a regular slab of steel. Excalibur was way stronger, too. Sure, Raiden could cut through giant Metal Gear rays made of carbon nanotubes, generating up to 100 kilotons of TNT.
But not as much as Excalibur. Another Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid, meaning it would have to be at least 6 kilometers across, just like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Now, Atlas did not completely halt its kinetic energy. By exploiting fissures within the asteroid, he was able to pulverize it to dust.
That means his punch had to hit with an energy of at least 46 gigatons of TNT. Sure, in canon, Atlas is stronger than Excalibur, but they fought and defeated similar enemies, so Excalibur would naturally have to be somewhere in Atlas's ballpark. Even if Excalibur only possessed 1% of Atlas's strength, he'd still be nearly 4,000 times stronger than Raiden. That's pretty consistent with the energy output of Nova's antimatter blast, too. Warframes are just that tough.
Furthermore, even with the high-frequency blade's unique vibrating ability, it cannot cut through everything. Raiden's original blade actually shattered against Armstrong's super hard skin and required the stronger Murasama to finish the job. Against a foe vastly more durable than anyone Raiden's ever faced, it's unlikely the Murasama would score a kill in time.
Even if Raiden got enough hits in to break Excalibur's shields and eventually land a fatal blow, the Tenno operator piloting would still survive unharmed.
Raiden put up a valiant effort, but Excalibur's absurd arsenal, impressive durability, and raw power put an end to the silver-haired swordsman.
Excalibur had the metal and the gear to make Jack R.I.P.
The winner is Excalibur. Told you so. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Warframe for sponsoring this battle. Quick disclaimer, Digital Extremes and the Warframe team did not dictate the victor of this episode, nor even the matchup. They were fine with it going either way, and we wouldn't have accepted the sponsorship otherwise. So we're really thankful to them for understanding this show. Remember, you can get a free collection of Excalibur-themed goodies from Warframe.com or the in-game marketplace with the promo code WF-Death-Battle. And don't miss out on TennoCon July 16th.
I'm Jocelyn, and I've been promoted. I'm about to do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle.
Well, I mean, that was definitely interesting. And I'm really excited for the next bonus episode of Death Battle. Light vs. Columbo. I mean, that has got to be one of the more unique episodes of Death Battle. As I heard, it's not going to have the normal format of an episode. But, yeah. Well, anyway, I'll see you guys later.